Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good wherever you are. Welcome to another Living World of Darkness, Rage Across the Dreaming. Don't laugh at me. It's not that funny. Even if I was trying to be funny, in a not funny way. This scene involves Alonna O'Casey, Fiona Metis, the Urge of the people of the Sept of the Green. And she's making her way to to the apartment because they don't live in houses in New York. There's not enough space. She's making her way to the apartment of one Savannah. She doesn't even know the girl's last name. But she just had a talk with a friend. Let's kind of put a bit of perspective on things for her. And we'll see where that goes as she knocks on Savannah's door.
Savannah has been sort of waiting for Alana to come over. Um, Trying not to be too excited about it, but as soon as she hears Alana knock on the door, she like bolts up off the couch and practically runs to the door to open it.
You did need to run. I just stood here for an extra 3 seconds.
I didn't run.
She cocks her head at you like, really?
She tries to feign an innocent look on her face. I'll roll manipulation subterfuge for that. Um, and that's quite successful. So,
I have 4 successes.
and I have four successes, and Defender wins. So,
I have a 9. That's higher than your 8s.
it doesn't matter. So she puts an innocent look on her face. I wasn't running.
Okay, my dear. So do I get to stand out here the whole time, or
She blushes and moves aside. Uh, no, please come in. That's my willpower, by the way.
yay, you can lie to me? Wait, you can always lie to me. Damn it! And
And
she walks in.
Alana walks in and notices that the apartment's much cleaner than it was before. Um, all of the cat toys that were out are put away. Any trash or clutter has been picked up and put in its place. Like, yeah, Savannah's been busy.
Looks around, slightly curious look on her face. You didn't do this just for me, did you?
No, no, of course not. And it needed to be cleaned anyway, so I figured perfect occasion.
So you did do this for me then?
No. She's got a smile on her face as she says that.
It really wasn't necessary, my dear. I didn't have a problem with how it was when I was here last time.
Savannah blushes. So, what can I get you to drink?
I don't know, what are you offering?
Well, I have wine, a few different types. I have whiskey. Uh,
Her eyebrow perks up at whiskey.
Figured you might want that. And she goes to her kitchen and pulls out a brand new bottle of Jack Daniels. Would you like it straight or mixed with something?
Well, straight's fine for me. I don't need no fancy things.
Do you want a shot or on ice or
Straight no ice.
she pulls out a not a shot glass but a short glass that you'd use for like scotch or brandy and uh, pours some into the glass and then she pours a glass of wine for herself and hands the glass of whiskey to Alana.
She'll swirl it around and then take a sip. You may notice that a lot of people who do that swirl it right under their nose and sniff it before they do that, but she actually had it out away from her.
Yep, she will notice that.
I only say something because it's a strange behavior.
Yeah. Savannah will make note, but she's not going to say anything about it. Um, some people have different ways that they drink, so she's not a snob or anything like that about it. So she just will notice that she doesn't sniff it or anything. But it's not too. She's not curious about it at this point.
Sure, you don't need to roll curiosity.
I'm sure
Okay.
it's fine. Um, she goes and she sits down on the couch and invites Alana to sit down as well.
And she does, and she sits down and she kind of leans back in the couch, just holding the drink, just staring straight forward, very awkwardly.
Gonna peony 2 successes.
She looks nervous? Yeah, definitely nervous.
Is everything okay?
I just had a conversation with a friend of mine, and you actually came up in the conversation. It was a bit unnerving, a little bit, you might say.
She she doesn't smirk. She kind of grins a little bit. You were talking about me?
We talked a little bit about you, and she just stares down at her drink for a moment and takes a gulp of it.
Well, what did you say? Well, what was said? I mean,
And she reaches up with her hand and kind of scratches the back of her head. Well, it's just not um well, I kind of told him about how things had been and such, and and that I wasn't sure, like, if you were coming on to me or not, and
Savannah's eyes widened, like, oh.
and he understands like where I'm coming from and why I'm having these issues, but So he had me tell him a few things, and then he said something, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. And yeah, that's pretty much all he said. And she takes another gulp of the whiskey.
So, said some stuff, and some other stuff came up, and other stuff was said.
Hey, that about sums it up.
Well, what what did you say?
During which point, lass?
Um, well, what were the questions he was asking you?
He asked just a simple, silly question, really, and if I remember correctly, it was, what do you feel when you think about her? I think that's what he asked.
And what was your answer? She's got a big smile on her face.
Her player is killing time while pages load because I need something because I don't have nearly enough dots. I don't think for what I want to do. I didn't, did I? Okay. And she starts blushing a little bit as she's trying to choke out words. I said that thinking about you kind of have a happy feeling and brings a bit of a smile to my face. You're a very sweet and kind woman, and she takes another drink of the whiskey.
Savannah is grinning from ear to ear, and her face is also kind of beet red.
Alana's mostly staring forward, still uh, afraid maybe to make eye contact.
Savannah moves a little closer to her. Really?
And Alana starts to look towards you, just kind of nod. She can't even bring words out. She's trying to get that blush under control, and it's starting to fade a little bit. The deep breaths seem to be helping.
Well, wow. Savannah just can't find words. She's just pretty well happy, very happy that Alana seems to feel the same way that she does. So she's just kind of chewing on that for a moment.
And he understands that I haven't had a lot of relationship experience, so he felt the need to tell me how he thinks I feel, and I'm still mulling it over.
So I'm curious to know what his opinion is on uh, how he thinks you feel. What did he say?
Oh, I'm sure you don't want to hear it. It's not. It's not that grand of a statement on his part. It's just a simple phrase, really.
Oh, come on. Tell me, please.
I guess if you really want to know, I can tell you. But do you really want to know? It's really nothing big, nothing major.
Roll perception empathy, please.
5 successes.
Yes. So if you look at her, there is a burning curiosity in her eyes, on her face, like she is dying to know.
And she looks over and sees this look on your face. Okay, well, he says he thinks I like you. And she just downs whatever is left in her cup.
Savannah takes the empty cup and goes to pour her another drink as she also downs the rest of her wine and gets them both a refill. Um, as she there's a wide cheesy grin on her face that is permanently plastered there as she brings the drink Alana's second glass of whiskey to her.
Hi, so how's your night been?
Far less eventful, but
That's peony for her talking because she knows that there's always subtle undertone currents. So say what you're gonna say.
okay. Um, yeah, she's far less eventful. Just you know, doing some mundane things. Nothing too spectacular. Uh, she she meets your eyes and smiles as if to say that she likes you too.
And she sees that look in your eyes, that smile, and her attempts to be stoic and strong kind of melt away a little bit. Maybe the alcohol that she's just been pounding has helped. And she kind of softens a little bit. And a smile starts to come across her face.
So, what else did you and your friend talk about?
Oh, you know, the usual things, murder, death, the world beyond the world where the spirits reign supreme and creatures unknown to man walk the earth. You know, the usual.
Oh yeah, totally the usual stuff.
And she's trying to play it very flippant, but there's a good chance she might have actually been talking about that. You're pretty sure that's what she was talking about.
Yeah. Hmm. Well, what are your thoughts on the other side and things that we can't see?
Oh dear. Oh dear. You actually believe in that stuff? Oh dear. And she takes a fairly large drink of her whiskey. That's stamina for the whiskey she's been pounding.
Was it something I said?
I didn't actually expect you to believe it. It seems flippant enough of a topic that most people just are like, oh, sure, of course you were.
Well, I mean, I suppose we could have a hypothetical conversation about it. If hypothetically it existed, what is your hypothetical opinion on the hypothetical existence of this hypothetical place?
And she turns towards you. She's feeling the effects of the whiskey, but it's not like slurring or anything yet. But I think that was a bit too many hypotheticals for me right now, Dar. Can you tone it back a little, kitten?
Hypothetically speaking.
She looks at you like, really? Really?
She has a big smile on her face. She's very proud of herself right now.
Okay. Well, if you're gonna be talking about this, I'm gonna need another drink. And she finishes off the rest of that whiskey she just had.
Savannah will take her glass and give her a refill. I'm gonna have to buy another bottle for the next time you come over.
You almost sounded Irish there for a moment.
Hmm. Maybe I'm just adapting to my surroundings.
Ooh. How are your surroundings Irish then? That's just whiskey and me.
Well, I know at least one of you is Irish.
Hey, pretty sure Jack Daniels is an American whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna have to get some real whiskey shipped over. Let you try that. It's very different than this American crap.
I'm sure it is, but I work with my resources.
Hey, and it's still whiskey, which makes it better than straight beer.
Are you trying to change the subject?
Not at all, my dear. So, kitten, what kind of resources are you working with?
I believe you are trying to change the subject.
Mm, nay, my dear, just carrying on the conversation. That's manipulation subterfuge. Yeah, she's trying to change the subject.
Oh yeah, Savannah knows. She knows this game. Hello. I'm. I really want to go back to the previous topic on what you think about
What's Irish in the house? The apartment?
no, the one before that.
The one about my conversation with my friend.
Yes. Yes, and your thoughts on
I already told you what he said.
no, your thoughts on the other side. Things we can't see.
Oh, that. Right. Almost forgot. So me. Alright, my thoughts. There are many things there. You should respect them and be ready to defend yourself and make deals with the ones that you can. Run from the ones you can't.
Savannah smiles like this all sounds extremely familiar to her, um, because whatever she's talking about sounds an awful lot like the dreaming. Um,
Out
she
of
just
character?
nods.
Out of character,
Yes,
there are some similarities.
yes, yes. Um, she just nods, and I would agree with you. Yes.
Are you agreeing just to agree, or do you have a reason for agreeing?
Why would I have a reason to agree?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking.
Well, maybe I do believe in that stuff. Maybe I have seen a few things.
Really? Like what?
Like, there are constantly things all around that the average person can't see, but some of us can. We can see them, interact with them.
She's watching you closely as you're saying this, trying to figure out just what, like how serious you are about believing or having experienced this.
Oh, yeah, she is. This is a truth. She is fully, she fully believes in this. And, like, even as she's saying that there are things all around you that you can't see, that you can interact with, her eyes are kind of flittering around, looking at whatever uh, chimerical objects might be in the room.
Let's see. Seem pretty sure that. I mean, the hypotheticals requested questioned about aren't necessarily as hypothetical as you were hypothetically or something.
Well, you did say that hypothetical was a bit too much, so I'm using maybes. Maybe. Maybe it exists. Maybe these things happen. Maybe some of us are special.
How do you specialize? How do you kidding?
Savannah walks over and nuzzles Alana's hand like a cat would, and she purrs. A very cat purr. Not the human trying to emulate a cat purr, but a genuine cat purr.
I'm surprised you're not scared of me then.
Why would I be scared of you?
Most animals are.
Well, not the typical animal.
Nay, neither am I. And she's got this strange look in her eye.
You know, I might have a way to show you some stuff, but I want to wait.
Show me what, my dear.
The things that don't exist.
And who says I can't see him already?
Her eyes narrow at you. What is it that you see?
She holds the glass up until she can see a reflection in it. And then she will roll gnosis. And you might see a slight shift in her eyes for a moment as she looks across the gauntlet. Around here, it's fairly calm. quiet. Outside, there's creatures, especially over where those flags are. I'd avoid them if I were you.
Okay. It. What would I roll for Savannah to realize that they're not talking about the same thing?
Wits empathy?
Okay. Uh, it's empathy. Oh yeah, that's 4 successes. So she gets a look across her face. I'm not certain we're talking about the same thing.
Is that so, kid? What are you talking about then?
I'm gonna have to show you, but not tonight. The next time you come to Angerona, I will show you.
Alright, my dear. That's what you want.
Savannah smiles. I think we have a lot in common and a lot not. But I like that.
Well, that's good to know. I'd hate to think you disliked it. Otherwise, make our friendship awful stale quick.
Indeed. So you like me, huh?
Insta red. Like, head all the way down.
Savannah puts her hand on Alana's cheek. She kind of takes her cheek into her hand and rubs it, almost like you would when you take an animal by the cheek and you start rubbing their cheek.
She just holds her face there while you're doing that. Actually, it probably would be willpower, but that's even more dice. I'll just stick with manipulation subterfuge because I got successes already for it. She just sits there and lets you do it.
Um, she'll do that for a couple of minutes, and well, I like you too.
So you were coming on to me then.
Yeah. Why do you think I asked you for your phone number the first night I met you?
Because you ask every woman out that you meet like that, for one. Isn't that what you do at bars? You ask people for their phone numbers. That's an American thing, isn't it?
At times, it can be, yes, but I don't ask just anyone for their phone number.
You just ask the plain Janes, is that it?
No, you are far from that.
her head cocks a little bit, just barely off center when you say that.
What?
What do you mean? I'm not.
You really don't see it, do you?
See what, kitten?
She smiles and blushes. How beautiful you are.
She kind of straightens up a little bit. You think I'm beautiful?
I do. Not just on the outside either.
She takes a step back, turning around, her one hand going up into her hair, like rubbing the back of her head. The other hand then just shooting the whiskey, and she turns back around. A definite confusion on her face.
You're really not used to people telling you that, are you?
She shakes her head no.
Savannah moves towards her and she takes her hand in hers. And she looks into her eyes. I know that I can be confusing and talk in circles sometimes, but I mean what I say when I tell you that I think that you're beautiful.
8 successes.
Yeah, this is extremely genuine. And that I like you.
Her mouth's a little agape at the moment. A look of there's confusion, almost wonderment in some ways. It's like, wait, somebody could actually feel that way, kind of way about me. How is this supposed to work? Then she's running through her head. Lucas said to just go with it, to do it, and but be aware that it's going to be difficult. She looks up at you and she closes her eyes and she takes a deep breath.
Are you okay?
Um, I'm just trying to think, kid. There's oh, and she just kind of sits straight down wherever she's at the moment.
Um, she probably was standing right in front of the couch, so uh, we'll just say that she just plops down on the couch. And I'm gonna roll Dex Athletics to see if Savannah falls on top of her. Higher difficulty because she's been drinking. Uh, that's a fail. So as because she has a hold of her hand, uh, Alana plops down on the couch and she pulls Savannah with her, and Savannah lands right on top of her.
Are you okay, kitten?
Oh, perfectly fine. Just startled me.
Is she perfectly fine?
No. Like she's she's okay like physically, but it, right now being in the predicament that she's in, she's a little bit like, "Uh-oh, what do I do? I'm frozen. What do I do?" That sort of way.
So she looks a bit like a deer in the headlights.
Yes. Yes, she does.
Alana looks down at her and she contemplates something for a moment. She contemplates it deeply. She's almost scared to contemplate it, though. You can see this mix of emotions running through her face. And let's see, so that would be appearance, subterfuge, and primal urge. Nope. Yeah, primal urge. No, it's pure breed. Pure breed. No, I don't wait, no, never mind. I don't know. I'm not gonna roll that. It's just she's no, it is primal urge. What am I yeah, that's right. And you can see a look in her eyes. A very animalistic look.
Okay. She sees that look
Very
in
predatory.
uh, Savannah. She doesn't challenge the look, but she's definitely like, okay.
And she kind of helps you sit back out of her lap. But as she's doing it, she's kind of climbing on top so that you're laying down on the couch as she's looking down at you. It's a very predatory um, look about her.
Yeah, Savannah's gonna go with it, and um, she will allow herself to be moved, and then Alana looking at her that way, she's got a very curious look on her face, like, hmm. She likes it, actually.
Just so you know, kitten, if this is going to go anywhere, you could be in danger. I'm a very dangerous woman.
Savannah smiles. I'll take my chances.
Are you willing to risk heartache if something happens to me?
You're worth it.
Does she mean that?
She does.
Alright then. I guess it's settled. Just so you know, if we're gonna see where this goes, that means us. Just us. I don't share certain things well.
Savannah nods. Not too big on it myself.
And she leans down next to your ear. And you hear a very guttural growl.
Savannah's body tenses up, but it's not in fear. As a matter of fact, it's almost pleasurable for her to hear Alana growling in her ear. She likes feeling of almost ownership.
Good. Glad to see it. As she whispers in your ear, having seen your body's reaction. Remember that. And I know this is going to be really awkward here in about 8 seconds. But that's okay. Just know it's nothing personal.
Savannah, before her 8 seconds is up, she's going to reach up and kiss Alana on the lips.
And how well does she do? She's not surprised, and she seems to be getting more into this, more accepting of it from the previous kisses on the cheek. And from the way she's returning the kiss, you have a feeling that maybe this was what was about to happen from her if you didn't instigate it beforehand.
Savannah is pleased with herself and with the very mutual reaction as she deepens the kiss. And does she then pulls back? Wow.
Well, I see you have a bit of pushing yourself for things. I like that.
It was all I could do to not do that the first time. A couple of times. The last couple of times, yeah.
You've only seen me, what, twice before this?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to kiss you the first night I saw you.
Well, I was definitely far more intoxicated that night. Could have gone for it.
That's one reason why I did.
Do I smell bad when I've been drinking or something?
No, I just prefer not to take advantage of women while they're drunk. Or too drunk, anyway.
I could still walk a straight line and count the alphabet backwards.
Really now?
Aye.
Well, let's hear it.
ZYXWV UTSRQP ONMLKJIHGFEDCBA.
Savannah's eyes widen a bit. Well, that was something.
Is that a good something or a bad something?
Hmm.
Good something or bad something?
Good.
One of these days you're gonna have to tell me why you have to talk in circles every time.
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Not sure I can. Or can I?
And she takes both of your wrists and pins them above your head, and just kind of growls at you.
Savannah shuts up. Oh boy. That was an under her breath sort of.
A Twitter pated oh boy.
Yes, very much so.
Alana looks down at her. We're gonna take this slow though, because I've never done this or gone this way with somebody, so you're gonna be taking it slow with me, alright?
Sure. Mhm. She's thinking to herself, she has me pinned. She, this isn't taking it slow. Not to her, because she, is hangs out at fetish clubs and is sort of into BDSM. So to her, that's definitely not taking it slow. But whatever.
And she sits back, letting go of your wrists and kind of come into her senses a little bit now that the wilder side of her has had a moment. She sits back down at the other end of the couch where she originally was, takes a deep breath, and just kind of sits back against the couch, staring at the ceiling.
Savannah looks at her. And, is everything okay?
Hi, I said slow, remember?
Yes. Slow. Right. Well, let's see. I suppose, and since you have to be up in a few hours, you should probably go then. She says that with an immense amount of sadness in her voice. She does not want her to go.
I took longer getting my stuff ready to come over here than I had anticipated. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It just means you have to come back.
I have to come back, is that so?
Uh,
And she turns and looks at you. Really, kitten? Is that so?
well, I would kind of really maybe like it if you were to grace me with your presence again.
She's looking at you. You really think I'm pretty?
I do.
Like, I could be more than just an average Jane wandering around, kind of pretty, or.
Um, I would say that you are more beautiful than a lot of supermodels I've seen.
A look of shock comes across her face.
Savannah smiles.
I don't know what supermodels you're looking at, but I don't look anything like them.
You're right, you don't. She's smiling still.
5 successes to figure out what she's implying.
That Alana is more beautiful than the supermodels. She doesn't look anything like them. They can't compare.
That look of shock is sitting there, and she's like, just staring at you, confused.
I'm gonna keep telling you until you believe it yourself.
Hi, and I'll be staring at you confused every time you say it.
Well, it wouldn't be any different than normal, now would it?
She narrows her eyes a little bit. You're planning on saying it in front of everybody then?
Maybe. Eventually.
So other people don't think I'm as beautiful as you do. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I haven't asked them, so I don't know.
I
Would you like
see.
would you like me to Oh, I know. I'll start a petition
A petition for what, my dear?
to convince you that you're beautiful. Get people to sign. You get to see all this big list of names of people who think that you are hotter than the sun.
I wouldn't make claims like that around certain people, um, or certain places. I'd appreciate it.
Sven is just smiling. Aw, taking away all my fun.
You can make claims, but not that I'm hotter than the sun. The sun might take it personal.
Hmm. She nods. All right, then. How about you are hotter than the pavement outside in July?
I don't know how hot the pavement is outside in July here.
Very hot.
Why do you have to compare me to something like that?
Um, well, you're definitely hotter than me. So
Oh, that I seriously doubt, my dear. Just look at you kidding.
she barely manages to not blush, but there's still definitely a little bit of not quite embarrassment, but you know.
No, I don't know really. One success.
All right then. Yeah. So she manages to not blush, and it would appear to Alana that she takes the compliment well. Um,
It's the truth, my dear.
thank you. All right. You should probably go.
I that I should. I'll be back.
Yeah.
And a mischievous grin comes across her face. Maybe.
Well, I shall look forward to your return, and you might get a few messages from me in the meantime. I like to text.
I'll make sure I respond. Maybe.
All right. Well, then maybe I will see you later. Maybe.
Lots of fair, maybe.
And she will walk Alana to the door. But before she lets Alana leave, she will lean in for another kiss.
Alana's kiss this time is much softer, less predatory. It's tender.
Savannah lets it be that way. She enjoys the tenderness of it, and she will be the same back. And when she pulls away, she will bite her bottom lip and let me roll a appearance subterfuge for a very seductive look that she's going to give her. Oh yeah, she gives her a very seductive look and uses pretty much her whole body when giving it.
Alana doesn't blush. No, not at all. Not in the slightest. Oh no, she's colorful. She's pretty reds and pinks and
Yeah, Savannah can see right through that, and her smile widens. Hope you get some sleep and have a good night.
you too, kitten.
And Savannah will shut the door behind Alana and she will go over to her couch and slink down on it in complete and utter disbelief at everything that just happened. She has a smile on her face because she's excited and happy that it happened. But part of her is also scared. What if she can't handle me? What if I'm too much? The not making sense, the talking in circles, confusion. What if she can't handle that?
Alana, meanwhile, makes her way into the hallway, checking for cameras. She slips sideways, makes her way through the weaver's webs out of the building, shifting to Lupus to make her way back to the sept as quickly as she can, staying to the shadows when necessary to avoid unnecessary trouble. She wonders, how will she handle it if something does happen to her? Is the hope for love worth the risk of loss? Only time will tell.
That is where I believe we can end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing and watchers for watching.